Okay, we should be good. All right, good evening, everybody. Excited for night number 2. It means that you've gotten through night number 1 and you've passed. So welcome on making the decision to pass out. You've made the decision to be here and get through week number 1 and some of the homework and whatnot. So, anybody have any questions before we get started with some of the stuff? No? Okay. Not real sure how long tonight's going to last. So. We may go a little longer, may go a little shorter. So if you have questions that come up, write them down. And for you guys out there too, you can chat those in and we'll try to answer them as we go tonight. So I wanted to review something real quick. We didn't get to this last week because of technical difficulties. The video that we were going to show would have gone over this. So Sarah, you want to come hand these out for me, please? This is so if you're following along online, this is the Vision Bullseye worksheet that we sent out. And this just starts to talk about somebody's why a little bit further. And that video is Simon Sinek, and talked about how to, starting with the why and working to the what versus the other one, because a lot of us do it the other way around. So I thought this is always a really good visual that we use if we're looking for, trying to hit the bullseye here. Our why is always at the center of everything we're doing. And so that's going to lead us into our first step tonight, which is your start with why statement. So you should have that right now, crystal clear from last time. So we're going to have each of you come up individually and share that. I know it's uncomfortable, but we got to get uncomfortable to be comfortable sometimes. We're going to share that with the group. Not only does that help all of us know what you're fighting for, that way we know what we're helping you fight for. And then also too is this is kind of the next wave of silvers. This is the family here, and you guys can help each other stay accountable, build relationships, cross-line stuff. Really, really important. So also when you're done with your why statement, can we put the thing up for now? This.
Sorry.
Can we just put this up for now? Please. Once you're done, you're going to write your name somewhere on the board with your point total from last week. Anybody got any questions on points and how that all works? Cody, you brought somebody to the meeting, right, on Thursday night? That's a point. If you sample somebody's Spark, that's a point. If you do a three-way phone call, that's a point. Okay? So, we're on the honesty policy here, so please write your points on the board when we get through the why statement. So, who would like to go first tonight? Here we go. You guys go ahead and speak, like stand right here and speak real loud. And for you guys that are listening in, why we're doing this is so, also too for you, maybe they might say something that sparks something in you. Right? Maybe it's something you haven't thought of. Man, that's really part of my why too. Why I'm doing this. So it's a collective effort here. So take it away.
Brian and Karen Watson. We're Brian and Karen Watson. We're from Story City, and our why is to provide for our future family and for our current family, and just to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Good.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, what's the point? You did the spark something on the way here? All right, next. Who wants to go next? Perkins, where hands were in the air first. Cody, go ahead.
Cody from Ankeny. My why is a big thing for me is time. I work as a personal trainer here in Des Moines. I get up 5 a.m., 4 a.m. every day and be to work at 5 a.m. and not done until 8, 9 o'clock at night every day. So making part-time money on basically a full-time basis. And for me, I want a full-time money on a part-time basis. So that's my why.
Fantastic. Drum roll, please. That's our background. We're talking about this.
You said drum roll.
You're right. 10. All right.
We're Megan and John Purchin from Urbandale, and I'm a list person. So our why is to be debt free. I have grad school loans that I brought into our marriage that he loves to pay every month. And we have a car loan, so we want to pay those off and then just have financial freedom for the future Purchins and beyond. So.
Next.
All right, name is Jeff Schulte. My why is just to have freedom, period. If I want to get up and go to Florida tomorrow, I want to have that capability, so that means I can't be tied down with a job. So that is my why.
And also too, as you think about your why, it's great to have that end vision that where we're shooting for. But what does that mean to you from the income standpoint? What does that mean? Which one of those income on that income filter gives you what you're looking for? We got to know what the game plan is. We need to know where we're going to be able to achieve that. So something to think about. Who's next? 80. Awesome. Backwards.
Wasn't on the list.
Some people are easy. Go for another, I guess.
Okay, you're good. Fair enough. Okay, I'm Katie Williams. I'm from Indianola, and my why list is I want to stay home with my kids. I want to help people feel as good as I feel, and I also want the freedom.
Katie, I think you and I had probably 8 of those 12 points together this week.
I put Marcy to work too. I'm Christin Grandin, and my husband and I do this for our school of girls, Mia and Ellie. We want them to know that no matter what happens, they're always going to be okay, and we want to make memories with them.
All right, my name is Kelsey Russell. My why kind of started at Successful. I heard Sarah Teague talk about how she hated that she went through school, she did everything right, and then a corporate employer was deciding her worth, and that kind of hit home with me. I want to work in corporate America. I like the idea of putting my stilettos on every day, but I want to be able to know that I have job security and I have that safety net if I need it.
One thing to think about too is that you can be a CEO in Advocare too. You can be the CEO of your own business. I mean, kind of give you an example. The Boom Nation does more revenue to the company, let's say, than McDonald's does. Your regular average McDonald's does on an annual basis. Think about that.
Brock Palmer, and my why in the short term is to pay off my house.
What would that do for you, Brock?
It give me a lot more money in my pocket, but it also give me the freedom to either turn it into a rental and move into something bigger or different, or maybe a different state, buy vacation homes.
So Advocate's going to fund your dream to maybe have your dream house. Awesome.
I mean, this is going to be depressing. On the ski slope, yeah. I only did 2, but I did sign up as a distributor. But
appreciate your honesty.
My name's Kylie. I am from Ames, and my why is happiness and freedom. I'm a server right now, so when I go into work, it's one of those things. Am I going to walk out of here with $25 in my pocket, or way more than that? So just having that income. Yeah.
Jenny Will, Ankeny, Iowa. I also would
you for the financial freedom or the freedom to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And I also want to become a better person and help others enrich their lives as well.
Thanks.
We are Christy and Mike Fritch, and our wife changed a lot this week because I got a health diagnosis. That is going to take me away from my RN job, and I need to replace my income now. We are changing. I had to order more scarf, don't judge me.
Hey, it's a process, we're learning, right? We've got to get to action, right? Right, now's the time.
I'm Matt Woods from Urbandale. Basically, it's trying to become more financially independent and stop having to worry about where did pretty much all the finances go about halfway through the month at this point. So.
No.
I'm Melanie from Des Moines, and my why is extra time with my kids and financial freedom. I currently already stay home with my kids, but I also work, so I don't get the luxury of going to school with them or volunteering at the PTA or going to some of their extracurricular activities that are right after school. So I would like extra time with my kids, along with the financial freedom to pay off my wonderful student loans and all the debt that I've incurred while I've been staying home.
Okay, good work, thank you. Do any of you other folks, Sarah, Tracy, Sarah, Garland, would you like to report your points?
Good night. Good night.
Nielsen. Matthew? Devin, did you know about this? Yeah, we did. Want to take a guess? Yeah.
Right about 10 or so.
That's a good week.
That was also Friday.
Just want to let you know I was playing along with you. Yeah. Because I'm competitive. And being honest, I kept track. No, I've obviously had a lot more 3-way call opportunities and things like that, but the sample most valuable was sample spark on a lot this week. And I really revisited my why, and I'm not going to share that with you tonight. I'm going to share our story with you next time, okay? I'm going to get really real with you, all right? So here's what I didn't see tonight. I didn't see anybody cry. And I'm not saying you have to stand up here and bawl your eyes out, but it's got to get to the point where it sticks in your gut and it burns so hard that it drives you into action, okay? So if you're a little bit lower on the number at this point, I would encourage you to revisit your why a little bit. Maybe make it a little bit deeper. What does that freedom of time and money do for you? Like, what really does it do for your family, okay? I mean, does that mean you don't have to drop off of daycare? Does that mean that you can volunteer at something you're extremely passionate about, right? Maybe make it a little bit deeper than what it is, okay? Some of you are close to crying and that thinking, I'm not saying you have to cry. I'm not a crier, okay? There are times where I get emotionally, there's certain things that happen and I'm like, gosh, this is why you had me. It kind of starts to tug those heartstrings. So I'm just encouraging you to continue to develop that, all right? It's not something that, and a lot of times it changes a lot over time, right? It becomes bigger, it becomes deeper. But I'm still going to encourage you to dream big, okay? Because, again, you can do this. Every single thing you just said you wanted, you can have. You can be, you gotta be able to become more so you can do more, and then ultimately you have more, okay? So one of your assignments this week too was to watch the 2-minute story, or the package in your story video. I posted this on the Facebook page with Danny McDaniel. Okay? So if you did that, and I'm looking for 2 to 3 volunteers that want to share your 2-minute story. Now, your 30-second story, your 2-minute story. We're not going to, we're not going to critique you a ton, nothing like that. I just want people to get an understanding of where they're going with their 2-minute story. Anybody like to volunteer? Who watched the video? 1, 2.
Which video?
Packaging Your Story by Danny McDaniel. Okay. Raise the hands who watched it again. Okay. 2 of you guys, please volunteer. Awesome, Kelsey. I see you got the urge.
All right.
Who else?
Do I have to go first?
Come on up. You will. Yeah, okay, you too.
You can go first.
Okay. All right. So basically where I was, when I first looked at Advocare, my roommate was into it. She was kind of experimenting with CrossFit. So that's how she got started. I was really hesitant. I looked at it and I was like, I don't want to spend money on this. Then I decided to do a 24-day challenge. I lost about 18 pounds on the 24-day challenge. And then for like 3 months after that, I got down 31 pounds after I had gained like 28 during my first 2 years of college. So that was really nice. I was back to where I started, and then I had the momentum from my spark to keep losing weight. So right now, I'm just kind of looking at the business, and I'm hoping to earn $500 per month at the end of this year.
Anybody quick feedback? Got it? Good? Anybody else? I like that.
Okay.
It's not, using very strong language is a really good thing. Okay?
All right, my heart's beating really fast. I usually talk to 5-year-olds.
That's part of your two-minute story?
Yes.
So if I'm sitting down at the table, that's what you say first?
Yes, yes, because I'm probably a good speaker. So, I guess it was in January I approached my husband, and I had went through some health problems in this fall of my school year, and ended up being optic neuritis in one of my eyes, and that is linked to MS. My brother had MS, and I was scared for that, but the outcome was better. It was linked to stress. Started seeing a therapist, and got some stuff out, and decided I'm really ready to lose weight, and I think this was holding me back. Started on the 24-day challenge and signed up as a distributor because I knew we wanted the discount, and asked a couple other friends to do it, and maybe asked about 8 and only got about 2 to do it with me, but that was okay. I lost 9 pounds and 10 inches on the 24-day challenge. Just continued with it throughout the winter months. I just kept telling myself, I got 3 more months till summer, 2 more months till summer, and just kept plugging away at it, and I've lost 34 pounds since February-ish. So. And me and my husband now are looking at the business opportunity because a lot of people approach me now, and I just share my story and trying to get more confident in doing that, I guess. So I hadn't even told anyone that reason. So.
Good job. I know that was difficult with her because I know that it's not something she's ever really wanted to do. So for her to stand up here and do that, that's awesome. Good job. Feedback?
Sometimes you add in a lot of extra stuff, but overall, it was smooth and I could follow you. At the end, you gave me facts that I could make a decision on.
Agreed. I thought that was very good. I thought that you were personable and you kind of got real with somebody, so great job. I also caution people to not say things that aren't necessary. Like, I want to talk to 10, only had 2 people that did it. Okay, you got some people starting on the 24-day, you got some people on the challenge because they liked our results. We started sharing it with some additional income. What about that interests you? Okay? Cool? Any questions? All right, we're going to got a few videos, and then we're going to roll through some more training.
was founded on the free enterprise system, and the free enterprise system was alive then and is still just as alive today. And because of Advocare, we have the opportunity and the privilege to be able to share the free enterprise system across America.
Richard and I were born in the same small town in Louisiana, and we caught each other's eye in the 6th grade. And both of our families were hardworking, grew up in the Depression, were very careful with their money, and so we never smelled that new car smell, and no one in our family had ever been to college. So when we married 41 years ago, we had a lot of dreams and a lot of desires. We wanted to own our own home. We wanted to give our children a faith-based education. We wanted to ride in an airplane. We wanted to see an ocean and even leave our footprints in the sand.
I've always been an entrepreneur, and I've always figured out a way to take care of my family. My first job after college, I was a pharmaceutical sales rep, and I made significant money. But what I realized I was exchanging was my freedom, because my boss wanted to own me. They actually referred to the sales force as human inventory. So 35 years ago, when the direct selling opportunity came along, we seized it. We took advantage of it because it gave me the opportunity for the first time in my life to feel like I could actually earn what I was worth. It gave us freedom from debt. It gave us freedom to be able to be with one another and to raise our families the way that we wanted to raise them. We believe that the American dream is just as alive today as it was then through the Advocare opportunity. We hope that you will join us in telling this great story of Advocare across the United States of America, and that you choose to live a life of significance as well.
And maybe you might like to leave your footprints in the sand as well.
Mama and Dad share, and Richie and shares, we like to call them. I want to share their video tonight because my hope and prayer is that someday you get to actually meet them face to face. And if you show up here and you do the work, and let's say you get invited to No Limits, that might be your first time you get a chance to meet them. They are exactly who they say they are. They're exactly what you see right there. And they're the ones leading this company. Look, that man and that woman have more character and integrity than anybody I've ever met in my life. It just oozed from it. He is a very stern, but very loving leader. I tell you what, I'm dealing with a few things this week, and one of the first people I thought about asking questions to was him. Richard is an amazing, amazing man. He's leading this company, and he's taken it from basically the point where Advocare may not have stayed around to where it's at today, to what you see today. You get to come here and harvest off of all the stuff that's happened from that. He's an incredible, incredible individual. I think it's really important that you know who's leading the company and what's behind that, okay? Honestly, I have two great fathers. My father-in-law is amazing. My dad is awesome. Love him dearly. If I were really going to seek for life advice, I'd probably call Richard first. I really would. I mean, the man is just absolutely incredible. So, tremendous, tremendous people. And quite honestly, when you look out, 30 years of what you want your life to be like, that's what Amber and I envision. I want exactly what they have. You know what I mean? They are leading a major company, impacting lives on a huge basis. They're extremely independently wealthy from hard work. They've been underground and torn all the way back up to the top, right? And they're so faithful. They're so real. You just walk up to them and they treat you with such respect. And one of their goals, and I love this, is to be the nicest rich people that anybody's ever met. They treat their gardener at that house the same way they treat their children. It's, just phenomenal people. So I think it's really important to know who they are. Thanks again.
Advocare provides solutions to two of the biggest problems in America, health and finances. Currently, 70% of all Americans are overweight, and so many need extra money to get out of debt or to improve their overall finances. By providing the finest nutritional supplements in America, Advocare helps people look better, feel better, gain energy, and lose weight. And because the products are sold through the direct selling business model, Advocare provides an exceptional financial solution that helps people earn income to the level they desire. Advocare was founded in 1993 by Charlie Reyes, whose vision was to create a company of advocates who care about people and their future. More than 20 years later, Charlie's vision continues through the support of the Reyes family, the leadership of Advocare President and CEO Richard Wright and his wife Sharon, a dedicated corporate team, and hundreds of thousands of independent distributors who bring this opportunity to life. Through a generous compensation plan, Advocare offers the average American the opportunity to make an above average income. Advocare products are formulated by a world-class scientific and medical advisory board, experts in the fields of nutrition, kinesiology, and science, as well as in medicine and pharmacology. This prestigious board, along with the Advocare in-house research and development team, exhibit Advocare's ongoing commitment to excellence in research and development of proper nutrition. Many Advocare products are certified banned substance free through the Informed Choice Product Certification Program. Because of this commitment to safety and efficacy, Advocare has been able to attract hundreds of professional athletes, coaches, entertainers, and world champions that use and endorse Advocare products to help them perform at peak levels. That's why these endorsers are proud to add their name to Team Advocare. Champion quarterback and Advocare national spokesperson Drew Brees has faithfully used Advocare products since 2000. Spokesperson Drew Brees has faithfully used Advocare products since 2002. Advocare further strengthens its credibility with their Sports Advisory Council. Advocare partners with experts from the professional and collegiate athletic community to ensure Advocare products stay on the cutting edge. Partners with experts from the professional and collegiate athletic community to ensure Advocare products stay on the cutting edge. And their sponsorships like the Advocare Texas Bowl, the number 6 car Advocare Ford Mustang in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and Driver Trevor Bay, and the Major League Soccer team FC Dallas. Distributors have experienced exceptional growth through the awareness of being on a national stage. There are 4 ways to become engaged with Advocare: as a retail customer, wholesale customer, Advocare independent distributor, or advisor. And what is so unique is that there are 5 ways to earn income with Advocare: through retail profits, wholesale commissions, overrides, leadership bonuses, and pay period bonuses and incentives. Leadership bonuses, and pay period bonuses and incentives. Leadership bonuses, and pay period bonuses and incentives. Advocare also holds national and regional events, including Success School, where thousands of distributors gather for a weekend of inspiration, motivation, and education. Advocare distributors say they can confidently share what makes Advocare different than other businesses. The proven success system with professional tools, such as Solutions for Your Success DVD and Impact Magazine, that highlight stories of real people with real success. Advocare has been building champions for more than 20 years, allowing ordinary people to become extraordinary. Catch the vision and join us as champions.
Been in just under 2 years, and I started matching my salary with
working 20 years ago now.
We had a new goal and a new purpose for our household, and that was to get mommy home. Because every day I went to teach 8, 9-year-olds that I loved more than anything. It was very hard to step away, but at the same time, I realized that my family needed me.
That's one thing I look back at now is that I'll never forget not only my wife's life, but my 2 little girls' lives as well.
We have really diminished our dreams to the size of our income. And so as a pair, just begin
Little girls' lives as well.
we have really diminished our dreams to the size of our income. And so as a pair, just begin to open up and read to the size of our income. And so as a pair, just begin to open up and read really diminished our dreams to the size of our income. And so as a pair, just begin to open up and read we have really diminished our dreams to the size of our income. And so as a pair, just begin to open up and read we have really diminished our dreams to the size of our income. And so as a pair, just begin to open up and read
So they started to really diminish their dreams to the size of They did. All right, so I think you guys have a point. How many of you have seen that video before? That's exactly why we're doing this, okay? We're just taking the time to share stuff with you that's already out there. We package it in a way that helps you understand more. This is a great video. It's a great tool to send on to somebody that gives them a better idea of what Apple is about, okay? So now that you've seen it, you know it, and you can share it, right? It's the same thing with products. If you're not going to sell anything that you haven't taken already. If you've never had a box of milkshake or a meal shake before, you're going to have a really tough time sharing it. Never seen a video, you're not going to probably share it. Okay? Here's some really important tools that we use on a very everyday basis. Plus, gets into a topic we're going to talk about later about being duplicatable. So I'm gonna go away from the videos for now. Got a couple more here tonight, quite a few actually. But I'm gonna get through the 10 most common mistakes rookies make. What do you think about that? So if you're following along online, please, the material that you were given, the 10 most common mistakes rookies make by Jason Cornell. We got a sheet. All right, just follow along with me, and then, if you've got any questions, raise your hand, and we'll get to you. Okay? Not packaging your story. People want to know what the products in the business have done for you and the difference AppleCare has made. This needs to be an emotional connection. So sometimes people are just really, really vague with how they share their story. All right? I believe the more real you get with somebody, kind of like what Karen did tonight.
Hard work, dedication, and commitment.
Yes, it does.
Professional world-class athlete. Sorry.
That's right. So what she did, that would connect with me, all right? I would buy in. I was drawn into what she was saying. I'm going to listen more, and I'm going to take it more serious so I can connect with it. Okay, so facts tell, stories sell, right? You've got to be able to know how to package your 30-second story. If you get in an elevator with somebody, and they're going to the 10th floor, and you're on the 3rd floor, right? You got about 30 seconds. We talked a lot about this last time, but you've got to have that story to the point where you can tell them to engage them, to be able to get them to talk to you at another point in time. Okay? Outlines it again right there. We're spending a lot of time on your story because we have to be able to talk to people. Where were you before AppleCare? What did you see when AppleCare brought into your life? What did you do as a result, and where you're going? It really needs to be that tight. Real simple. Talking too much. Love this one. We call it fire building. You're all really excited because you just got done with Silver School tonight, and your best friend calls you and they say, "Oh, I want to talk about AppleCare," and you're like, "Oh my gosh, you get a point for class, and you know, you're just all jacked up, and you know, you got a huge why now, and you really want to get going. So then all of a sudden you just start fire hosing somebody like crazy about Advocare. We call it also Advo puking. You Advo puke all over somebody to the point where they're like, oh my gosh, I don't want anything. You know, that's kind of goes back to where you tell them so much stuff that the things that they don't, it doesn't matter, that then they just are, you know, it goes back to inaction. Okay, you told them 15 different things when they called you about a couple of specific things. All you are is a preview of the movie to introduce to somebody else. Okay? Sometimes we're not looking to hide anything from anybody. Sometimes I don't want to give you that impression. We are very proud to be Advocare distributors. We're very proud to share our story, proud to talk about what Advocare can do for us and for you. But you need to be the preview of the movie. Okay? So don't puke about everything. You just every single thing you know about the company on somebody all at once. Not getting your sponsor on the phone via three-way calls, number 3, okay? Three-way calls or two-on-ones. We know that that's the next step. Once you've driven your 30-second story, you give them a sample of Spark. Maybe they've started the 24-day challenge. The next is a three-way call or two-on-one. I will use Katie real quick tonight because we do like 3 or 4 calls this week. They were absolutely home runs, perfect. We booked 2 mixers because of those 3-way phone calls. Okay? The people that had great results on the 24-day challenge. So all Katie did was get me on the phone, they shared their story, and one of them had already shared a challenge with somebody, and the other one really needs the income. So we just talked about what's available with Advocare. She was the preview, she had on the challenge, loved products, followed this next step. Now we've got a mixer for both those 2 ladies because both of them expressed interest in getting their products paid for and getting a 40% discount, but they didn't have the funds to get there right away. They're already booked, they're inviting people, they're already doing the business, they don't even really know it yet. Okay? That's the power of a 3-way phone call. Those took 15 minutes tops. They shouldn't be that long. It should be very duplicatable. I'll talk about that later. Leading with the product and not the business. Again, our business is the main course. To me, the business is the main course, okay? The products are amazing. They will work if somebody takes them and they take them correctly and they take them long enough. I always tell a story of my mom. She felt great. 90 days, she hadn't lost any weight. She was super mad because that's what she wanted to do. You know, but she's mid-50s and never done a cleanse, never done anything, so her body's kind of fighting her. Not giving, you know, it's like, what are you trying to do to me? I'm going to fight you back because you've never been this nice to me for this period of time. I mean, your body can play weird tricks on you, but our doctors will tell you that for, you know, to give Advocare the correct shot for everybody should be about a 90-day time frame. Say, Mom, just stick with it. She kept on taking products, kept on taking products. The next month, she lost, was it 22 pounds in a month? Because the body finally just said, okay, I get it, and I get what you're trying to do to me, let's do this, right? She's been able to keep it off. But, so to me, the products work. They work every time when you put them in your body. Spark is amazing. You know, I mean, there's all kinds of products, they work. It's not our job. I personally have led with the business a lot, okay? I believe so much in what this business can do for somebody if they're willing to work on themselves and go to work here. I don't feel like it's for me to decide or to you know, what they want to do. My belief is that they will get on products by default and love them, worst case scenario. So I recruited somebody in the last week or so, or a couple weeks ago, actually about a month ago, and I sent a message to him. I said, hey, I really got something to talk to you about. It's called Advocare. I believe that you and I can change a lot of lives together. When can we get on the phone? He didn't reply back to me. I sent him another message saying, hey man, I'm really serious about this. You know, when can we talk? So we get on the phone, and then I shared basically my 2-minute story, and he's like, well, tell me more about the products then. Okay, let me tell you about our world-class endorser. Let me tell you about, you know, our SciMed board. Let me tell you about some of this stuff, right? He went advisor about, you know, 3 or 4 weeks ago. Went to Success School. Because I spoke big to him, and I did not choose for him. I shared the menu with him. He could have picked just products. That would have been completely fine, right? And it would have been a win, because that's what he wanted. But my job, again, is to share the menu of Advocare. Any question on that? A lot of times, sometimes we have some scar tissue with maybe another direct sales company that we've done. We've heard horror stories or whatever else that might be out there. So then you're scared to share the business with somebody because you don't exactly know how this Advocare thing's going to work out for you, or maybe you just don't believe everything we're talking about yet. Maybe you just don't have the extra layers of conviction. Okay? So you hide behind the products because you know they work, because you love them. Otherwise, you wouldn't share it with somebody. Does that make sense? Okay. Recruiting down versus up out of fear, pity, and ignorance. Don't be afraid to approach somebody just because they look like they have it all together. I can promise you that's not the case with most people. The study shows 75% of people hate what they do. Not just dislike, not just, they hate it. 75%. So the next 3 out of 4 people you talk to could be in that, probably are in that category. It's a numbers game. So why not, share Advocare? You can't prejudge somebody, and that's why it's so important to just share the menu. If I just walked into a really fancy restaurant and I had on, and I just got done working for the day, and let's say I had a construction job, but I was a diamond in Advocare. As a diamond, I had a construction job, so I walk into Fleming Steakhouse, right? I look like somebody that can't afford maybe eat there. Okay? If the waitress comes up to me and all she does is give me the appetizer menu, that's not what I'm looking for when I go into Fleming's. Right? I'm going into Fleming's looking for the steak. That's the main course. Okay? She prejudged me on what maybe I look like. Okay? There's people that have really significant big-time jobs, but they have 0 time, and a lot of times their finances are all screwed up because they're trying to keep up with the Joneses, right? They've got a half a brand new shiny Suburban in their driveway, but they're never home. I think they need our culture. I think they need our 10 guiding principles that we talked about last week. Spending more time with family, spending more, paying off debt, doing some of those things, having more freedom in life. So I approach everyone. I think one thing that we've been really good at, maybe why we had so much speed in the beginning, because, Scott and I, when we started 3.5 years ago, we went to some of the best people we knew. They were already successful. Those were the people we were looking for, right? This isn't always about just people that are down on their luck. People get that misconception that that direct sales is all about folks that are down on their luck. Well, then, they must need opportunity because they're down on their luck, right? You can't prejudge that. Somebody might be just having this major war inside, okay? And you've got a solution that can help them from a time or money standpoint if you're bold enough to approach them. What if they said yes? What if that person was the best person that just rock star in what they do, but maybe there's something missing. Maybe they felt like they were worth something more and you shared it with them. What if they said yes? Now that rock star's with you. I get this all the time, confusing being pushy with strength, okay? This is all verbiage to me. This is, sometimes people say to me all the time, I don't want to be a pushy salesperson. Great, we don't want you to be a pushy salesperson. But you should tell them the truth. Sometimes when we think we're being so late, we're being so timid about what we want to get across, people take that as you're trying to sell them something. We're so scared that people think we're going to sell them something, or that we're selling something to somebody, that it comes across as salesy, right? If I just called Christin up and said, Christin, I love this spark. Have you tried it? I think you'll love it. When can I drop one off? Does that sound like a sales pitch? Or, hey, Christin, man, I've got this vehicle called Advocare. It's been amazing. It's transformed our lives, and I really think it's something you'd be good at. When can we sit down and talk about this? May or may not be for you. It's not going to affect our friendship. Is that salesy? To me, hey, Christin, well, this Advocare thing, it's pretty awesome. You can make a lot of money, and maybe if we could meet up sometime, maybe we could talk about it. And, might not be for you, but Which one sounds more salesy? To me, the second one sounds more salesy. Like I'm trying to sell her something because maybe I'm not convicted of what I'm doing. So having words of strength. Make sense? Treating like a business like treating the business like a hobby, guys. This is an extremely legit business opportunity, right? And it's a blessing and a curse that maybe we paid $79 or just $2,100 to open a business. This can pay you significantly if you treat it like a business. You treat it like a business, it will pay you like a business. If you treat it like it's a hobby, then it's kind of that Fisher mentality we talked about last week of being a 3 or 4, right? If you treat it just like a hobby, it's just whenever somebody approaches you, then yeah, okay, this is just something I do on the side, you know, but no, this is something I'm doing. That doesn't mean you have to do it 15 to 20 hours a week. But hey, this is something I do. This is something I do to help people and earn extra income for my family and help people get great results on products. What about that interests you? You know? And then doing it on a consistent basis. Here's what I see happen. People do AdvoCare for 2 hours one day every other week. There's no consistency in that. Matt, how does that get somebody good results in here? Doesn't work, does it? Right? But if they were to come in here and do 15 minutes a day, every single day, would they get results? Same thing in AdvoCare. If you do 15 minutes a day, that's better than nothing throughout the week. And that's treating this like a business. You know, having a whiteboard at home. I got a giant whiteboard at home. That's how I keep organized. That's not something you necessarily have to do right now, but maybe you have a small whiteboard. Justin and Christin, you guys have a whiteboard? 2. Got it? 2.
Like 7.
7. Matt is a more detailed-oriented person. He acts like he's not, but he really is. Okay, so that's why he needs 7. But that's treating it's like a business. It helps you map out and see where you're going and what you're doing. Okay? Anybody that's gotten to a certain point has some of those things in place. They know exactly where they're going. They know exactly what they need to do for today. One of my things is that, you know, I've got a list of adonation things on a list of adonation legs. My goal, personal goal, is to have 26 new legs, or 26 legs of business in Des Moines or across the country at adonation. I'm at 14 right now because I look at it every single day. Drives me nuts. Right? But when I'm working with somebody, that's one of the first conversations I have with them. We got to get them to adonation. Not only it's in their best interest, we know if they want to earn income, they got to be there. Right? That's why you have your adonation ticket to get into silver school. But that's also part of what my goals are. I know what my goals are. Right? 26. Aren't willing to make sacrifices. Who's all there Thursday night? 3. See, did you bring somebody with you? Thanks for your honesty, but you were there. Did you learn something? Were you around our culture? Were you around our culture of people? Fantastic. Okay? Did you learn how maybe you could bring somebody back next time, like something you heard? Okay. Cody, did you bring somebody? Did they sign up? Okay, how did it go?
Great.
I talked to that gentleman for what? 10 minutes? Fantastic young individual. When he's ready to, I think he could be good here. Kelsey, did you bring somebody?
Yes.
What happened?
Distributor.
And what else?
Interested in the business.
I talked to him for 15 minutes about his why. Okay? They had success because they came to the events. But some of you, it was cold out. Or maybe you had a hole in your screen door that had to immediately be fixed. Okay, I know I'm being a little sarcastic, but we let the littlest things rob us of such huge opportunities sometimes. There will be people, I promise you, this happens every time, so I used to it, it's like, okay. Advocations in Des Moines. Maybe some of you won't show up. It's in your backyard. You'll let something really small take you out of seeing that day that could ultimately change your life. So, we have to make sacrifices now to have more later. I think, did I share my Minnesota Twins story with you guys last week? Okay? I mean, there's so many, I have so many of those stories now. afraid to let people walk away with this. Don't get emotionally attached. And that's really difficult. It's the number one thing I struggle with on a daily basis. Because I care. I care deeply about this team, and I care deeply about every single individual that's in here. I pray about you guys on a daily basis. Hello? Batteries? Maybe. So we want each and every one of you to have success. Like, the reason why I love hearing your why statement so much is because it fires me up. It gives me fuel to go out and talk to people and help you. Okay? So, the struggle with that is that I see somebody, or maybe one of you guys won't be here in a month. Okay? Something took you out of the game. I don't know. I hope that doesn't happen. But, I get vested in that. I know it's tough. Sometimes we get there's so much potential, but then something little takes them away, and it's like, gosh, this person could have life on their terms. They could have like thousands if they just were a little more coachable. If they just drop the ego, if they just keep coming by, right? And we have just as many distributors personally, just as many advisors personally that quit it. I think we do is doing the business right now sometimes. It happens. They take products, still we love them. I think they'll come back around someday. I know they're seeing what's going on. I know they're seeing the growth. We've had a couple people come back in the last couple weeks because of that. All right? It's awesome. We welcome back with open arms. We've got some things we got to work through, some accountability things, but, based on what they want. That's not about me, okay? But you've got to be able to let some of that go. Sometimes we get the one, right? We sign up the one. Like, this one's diamond. Like, this guy's he's going to kill this thing. This couple, they're just dynamic. They're amazing. But their why wasn't strong enough, and their screen door broke. Right? We've got to be able to be okay who we'll be talking to next. Lack of passion and purpose. Does anybody think I struggle with passion or purpose? If you think so, tell me. Because then I got to go home and reevaluate a few things. Because passion and purpose will drive you so far through so many obstacles and get you where you want to be. I love this company. I love this team. I wake up every day to serve lots of different things, and one of them is this team. All right? I'm fired up for each one of you guys' futures because I think at some point you'll have kids. Right? And if I wasn't bold enough to talk to Justin and Christin a couple of years ago, they wouldn't be ready for what's going to happen in February, and that kid's never going to know any different than those two staying at home with them. And it makes me so fired up and passionate about that. Who's next? Right? Roll the video.
I just think we should page Rebecca is the scientific and medical advisory board. Dr. Michael Hoffman, the Director of Education at Prickett, and I would like to introduce to you this prestigious board.
This is an advisory board. They offer advice and guidance to the company. Let's be clear, these individuals are not fierce. They're very active and make enormous contributions to advocacy.
Oh, let's lead on.
Dr. William Kramer, a preeminent sports nutrition scientist. Dr. Stanley Bennett, surgeon and inventor of intravenous nutrition. Dr. William Redden, leading authority in research research, especially in women's health. Dr. Sid Stokes, former dean of pharmacy and a preeminent nutritional toxicologist. Dr. Stokes is also the chair of the board.
Dr. King, the Montreal Chair of Nutrition Abuse and the International Authority of Nutrition. Dr. Ken Goldberg, physician and expert in men's health. And Dr. Judith Smith, Authority of Pharmaceutical Management of Cancer at MD Anderson University.
As you can see from their background, they provide an enormously diverse expertise. This allows us to tap into a variety of issues.
Operationally, the links to advocate are through Dr. department, myself, and the R&D team. And together we are focused on education, connecting the latest science, product development, and its application.
Who's watched that one? Anyone? 2. This is exactly why we do this. Now you know the board better, right? Like this is part of the next part we're going to lead into, which is called the bulletproof shield. Okay? So we're all fired up. We love products. We believe in Advocare. We know that we can make a difference for us, our families, and other people. But then you get to meet somebody that just wants to suck the life out of you because they like to have a pity party and they like to bring you with them. Okay? They have nothing but know everything. Who's met that person? It's kind of when you just know the truth and you're just going, okay, all right. You know the truth, so you don't have to argue with folks like that. But what we do in Advocare is that we have a bulletproof shield. Has anybody ever seen the movie Hitch? You guys ready for this? You guys ever seen the movie Hitch? Right? This goes for the success system and the bulletproof shield. If you just stay right here, right? Just stay right here. I look good, don't I? Everybody want to come up and dance with me. I'm not moving. I'm not being crazy. Right? It's when you start doing stuff like this. It's when you start doing stuff like that. Is when we like that. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to stay right here with that bulletproof shield. And with our answers, we got to stay calm and answer them with the tools that we provide. So to introduce to you the bulletproof shield and to go through that and train you on the bulletproof shield, Mr. Ruby Distributor, Justin Nielsen. Woo! UCJ.
Right. I'm not fancy.
Thank you.
All mic'd up.
Actually, roll up. Okay. Roll stand while Justin can step out.
My name is Stanley J. Decker, MD at FACS. I was professor of surgery at Yale University. And while I was chairman of the Department of Surgery and director of the program of surgery, which is a teaching program at St. Mary's Hospital in Waterbury, Connecticut, which is an affiliated hospital and in the teaching program of Yale University. I pursued research to see if I could improve the nutritional status of patients who were surgical patients, and I found that a lot of them couldn't be improved because they couldn't use their gastrointestinal tracts. So I was encouraged by my mentor, Dr. Rhodes, to go to the laboratory and try to develop a better way to feed people my day. I was very fortunate in my work doing that. I was successful in developing technology and the components to feed on patients retiring by family. I recognized that I was able to show improved performance and results in people who were critically ill, indeed some of them on death's door, by simply adding adequate nutrition to their regimen. They were already getting all the medication they already were getting nutritional and surgical technical care. The only piece that was missing was nutritional support, and they got good. Advocare appeared to me to be the only company that I could find who were interested in the same goals that I had for patients. Advocare is not about selling supplements or products. Advocare is about conveying a whole style of life. I didn't intend to be a nutritionist in quotes, nor somebody interested in nutrition. I just wanted to be the best surgeon I could possibly be so that my patients could get the best results to which they were entitled. But I found beyond a shadow of a doubt that in order to achieve that, I not only had to be an effective technical surgeon, I had to be an effective supporter of their nutritional status and metabolic status. And then only then can you expect optimal results. And that's what I think we've been achieving during my career as a surgeon.
Awesome. Guys, if it wasn't for that man's research, I know I wouldn't have a grandfather, and I probably wouldn't have a nephew. Because his research and development, TPN, has saved those 2 lives and countless and millions of other ones. So what I'm going to show you now is if you aren't facing any adversity in AdvoCare, you haven't shared the products long enough, or you're not doing anything that's worth sharing. Because one thing I noticed in the beginning was the hardest thing to get through was a no, or someone that had a question that I couldn't answer, or a question that maybe they were just asking me to get me fired up and to start an argument. And one of the things I learned very early on in AdvoCare is when 2 people argue, nobody wins. Okay? So when you're arguing with someone about a certain ingredient, you might as well give up, because that person's not going to buy products, and you just lost a little bit of dignity and a little bit of respect from that individual. And nobody really wants that, because we all know that AdvoCare is about timing. That maybe they just want to ask you a question now that it's going to stir you up, but later on the road, if they see you stick with this long enough, they'll jump on board too. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to teach you how to walk away from every conversation, leaving that person with their dignity and you with your dignity, and having a good feeling going away from something that could cause some adversity. So the Bulletproof Shield was created by some of the first people I got started with AdvoCare, because I know for a fact that I'm not a chemist. I don't know how to deliver nutrition through the body. But one thing I do know is that when my wife and I have children, I want to be a stay-at-home. So that's why they had done this, that you can come in as an average Joe like myself and be able to still have success here. So if you look here, it has the golden rule there, which we kind of talked about a little bit. But let's say, for example, one of the hot topics right now is sucralose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my good friend Matt here, and I always think the best way to teach something is by showing. Turn off the mic? Yeah. Okay.
Speak loud.
So who in this room has had someone ask a question that maybe kind of infuriated you a little bit? They were just kind of digging in on you and you didn't know how to respond. And when you did respond, did it kind of get a little sketchy as far as maybe an argument, or you went back and forth on a couple things and you didn't feel good about it afterwards? Who's all had that? I know I have, and I know Matt has, and I know everyone that has started has. And that's kind of what we call, quote unquote, maybe roadkill. Because you're going through, you're on this AdvoCare path, and someone gets you in your way, and I'm just going to give it to them all here because they're asking a question that I'm not comfortable with. So right now I'm going to have Matt ask me a couple questions that maybe you guys have, and I can kind of show you how to use the Bulletproof Shield.
These are all things I've actually heard over the past couple of years. What's in Spark? I don't do artificial sweeteners like sucralose.
You know what, Matt? I don't know a whole lot about sucralose, aspartame, something or other, but this is what I do know. I know that Drew Brees has been using our products faithfully since 2002, and he's actually in this Impact magazine, and he put his name on our products. So if Drew Brees had an issue with sucralose, aspartame, maybe he wouldn't be using the products.
Oh, Drew Brees? Anyone will say they use products for money.
That's great, but I don't know a whole lot about how much they get paid, but this is what I do know as far as how the compensation deal works for endorsers. Our endorsers use our product for about a year, and then they get a chance to become a non-paid endorser. So what they do actually get is a product allotment for their endorsement. So, I mean, if you want someone endorsing your product, I think AdvoCare is the best way to go because they're actually using the product, and they get paid with the product so that shows that they're actually using them.
Okay. Well, this 24-day challenge just seems like something for moms who want to lose weight.
That's great. You know, I've had actually a lot of moms that have gone on a 24-day challenge, we got results. But if you see here in this magazine, we actually have, I had it earlier, there we go, Tim Hoffman, and his story is clearly here in the Impact magazine. And he started on products in December 2011, and he lost 90 pounds, and his total loss of 151 pounds. I know that could be a question that you have, but I have other stories like myself where I'm not a mom, and I actually lost 35 pounds using products in the 24-day challenge as well.
Well, my friend used Spark and said that it made his calves deteriorate. True. I heard that.
Well, I've actually never heard that before, but if that were to be true, do you think Dr. William Kramer, who is a professor of sports medicine at the University of Kentucky, which we all can just read right here, it's not common knowledge, it's just something you can read up in the Impact magazine. So, you know, he actually works with athletes and helps building them up so they can perform at their highest. And one of his favorite products is Spark. So I don't think that he would recommend people taking a product that's going to help deteriorate their calves, if that's truly what it does.
I'd like to try products.
Okay. The point is that there's not going to be a perfect example. It's kind of got this is going to be your bulletproof shield. It's going to be endorsements, so you can use something like, hey, you know, I don't know about that, but this is what I do know. Rich Roning's been using that product for a few years, and he actually just won the Reebok CrossFit Games 4 years in a row. So if that was truly an issue, do you think Rich Roning would endorse our products? See how easy that is to kind of just show away a silly question so that you aren't trying to sound like Mr. Know-It-All, because I really don't. And the funny thing is when Scott came up to Spencer when we first started doing the business, I thought I was Mr. Joe Cool. I thought I had it all figured out because when I first got involved with the company, I researched everything. So I was the internet scientist, guru, extraordinaire. And we're sitting here, we're driving back from a business meeting, and this guy's like, yeah, man, I think I'm going to try that muscle gain. It looks like a great product. And I'm like, yeah, man, you're going to love it because it has vitamin this, this, and this, 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 and this, and this, this, and this. And Scott's just sitting there like gripping the wheel like he was about to pull over and slap me. But I felt like that's what we needed to do, right? We're dealing with nutritional products. I should at least know something about nutrition, or at least know everything that's in every single product, right? No. So fast forward to this day, that individual still never got on products. And he probably walked away thinking, I thought about doing this, but I don't know a whole lot about these products, and I don't have the time to research and figure out what's all in them, so this maybe not be for me. So don't ever think that you have to know everything. Yes, it's good to know product knowledge as far as how it made you feel, but you don't need to know what's in it because we have scientific medical advisory board that put their white coats on the line to say.
That conversation was that night when we got back. I said, Justin, are you making what you want to make here? No. Don't ever say another ingredient ever again.
Something like that. I mean, come on. You know, we didn't have super school back then, and I was trying my best. So. But the point is, guys, all you need to know is what's in the Impact magazine. If you have the Impact magazine, you can take that in front of somebody, and every time there's a question that you may not know, just flip to a story in the Impact magazine, or flip to the doctors. I know right now we talked a lot about artificial sweeteners. That's been brought up in numerous conversations, but just always revert back to the Science and Medical Advisory Board. And also, too, you know, if someone has a question as far as the income, you know, I heard that's a pyramid scheme. Well, that's great, but when I first got started in Advocare and I brought my buddy Matt Slampa into the business, and when he first got started, his first couple months, he was making exactly what I was, and he might have made a little bit more than I did. That's my story. So when people, if it's a pyramid deal, how can my friend Matt earn a little bit more than I did that first month? Or, for example, my buddy Scott, he's been in the business since 2002, and the guy that brought him into the business actually quit, and the guy above him stuck around And Scott's actually out earning the guy that signed him up every month. So if this was a pyramid deal, don't you think the guy that was above Scott in the organization would be making more than Scott? I thought so. It's not something you want to argue with and try to give them all the information in the world and pull out your compensation plan and the policies and procedure book. You just want to have a couple stories on hand. Have your story, have a friend's story, and maybe pick a couple out of the Impact magazine. And one thing too, as far as people always want to know, can I get my money back? Or if I get on these products and they make me sick, am I stuck in it? So Advocare also has the satisfaction guaranteed on all their products. So that's just another thing that you can use to add another layer of conviction on why Advocare could be something for them. So it's basically as simple as that. When you're talking about the Bulletproof Shield, it's something that you should carry with you into every conversation and always refer back to. When you really want to just brew up and just give them the business, just revert back to the Bulletproof Shield, point at a couple pictures, share a couple stories, and you both walk away with your dignity. So.
And then what about just a bad experience with another distributor? They tried products and didn't have a good experience with them. What would you recommend to say in that situation? If
someone got on products and
their person didn't help them through it or didn't get them on the right products for the challenge, go for it.
Once again, I would say, I've never really had anyone have that issue because we truly haven't. Anyone that's gotten on the products with us and is willing to be coachable, never had that problem. So if you'd like, I'd like for you to sit down and talk to my friend Kyle Bartlett. I think that's your lineager, or get on the phone with my partner Kyle. He's helping a lot of people get results on products. Maybe he can kind of help you out with that. So then again, it's also using the Bulletproof Shield and then trying to get them into the success system. So they kind of go hand in hand. This is the first, you use the Bulletproof Shield, and then you try to get them into a 2-on-1 meeting or 3 or phone calls so that they can kind of drop their guard on why not. Anyone else have any questions as far as the Bulletproof Shield goes?
Looks good. Cool. Good work, Justin. It's funny because the minute you stop talking ingredients, you got so many people on products, it wasn't even funny. So that was a good story. I forget that story. That's a good one. All right, so here's some extra tools and videos that you can use to help back up what you're saying. We do these things on purpose. It's very intentional.
As you all know, I've been a huge Advocare supporter for a long time. I've used Advocare products since 2002, my second year in the NFL, and now we're in year 10. How time has flown by. Certainly, I can attribute a lot of my success around the Advocare products and around being part of the team Advocare. The motto of Advocare is "We build champions," and certainly, I'm one of those individuals who's very self-motivated, and when it's all said and done, I want to be a part of the team as a championship team. And I know I have that with the New Orleans Saints, and I certainly know I have that with the Advocare family as well. It's a great feeling and certainly a great opportunity to be the national spokesperson for Advocare. I take it as a great responsibility and certainly a great amount of pride, not only representing the product and Advocare name, but also the thousands of distributors who are working tirelessly every day to show the world what a great company Advocare is, what a great family it is, and obviously what a great product they provide.
Hey, this is Jason Wynn, number 82, tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. At Advocare, we build champions. Definitely see the benefits of Advocare on the field. I mean, I think when you're playing at a league level like this, your body goes through so much. It's pretty black and white. Does it work or does it? And for me, I saw the benefits of Advocare and product and just continue to use it. When I got to the Cowboys, the teammates were a part of it, and it just became a part of what we did, and really was a resource for me to make my game better, I think, to another level. I think a lot of the guys I would start with when I use the most is Spark. There's not a better product out there than the Spark guys. The officials and the tablets, nighttime recovery, there's so many things that I use, and I can go on as an athlete. You see the work you put in on the field and how it pays off, but I think when you start using these products, you see yourself at a higher level and perform longer and harder and even achieve better results. And at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for.
Winning a race takes hard work, dedication, and commitment. Professional world-class athletes use Advocare products. Why? Because they work. Scientifically formulated, independently tested, and proven to give us the results that we're looking for. The race at the championship level. Are you looking for results? Advocare. Use it. The pros do.
I'm Rich Cronin, three-time pre-block CrossFit Games champion. Being a champion is, it's what I work for every day. It's a lot of sacrifice, but it's part of it, and it's fun to be a champion. Usually my morning consists of start, margin extreme, and then mass impact, and then I usually throw a scuba rehydrate. So it's quite a mix in the morning. And then at night I'll take the nighttime recovery. And then the competition, the O2 goal, it's going to be a longer event, and a more cardiovascular taxing event. And then muscle field is going to be a shorter event. Especially with the O2 goal and the muscle field in competition, it was just almost unfair the way it felt. It just felt better. Everything felt easier. Recovery is huge in what we do. Without recovery, we can't compete. At the games, you're doing 3 or 4 minutes a day. Recovery is key. It's cool to be a part of a company that is stands for the same stuff I do. And if you're involved with that, it's cool.
I think it's really, really cool that all these champions are coming together to be on the same team as Advocare. Like, we're getting so many requests on a regular basis to be part of our company right now. It's awesome. So we want to make sure you are aware of some of those videos and have you see those endorsement things that you can use as tools. Matt, can we put the screen up real quick? I forgot one thing. After I said there was a prize for most points this week, right? Who had the most? Sorry, me. Perkins, 21.
Online, Mandy had 28.
I have a different category.
Oh.
I'm just talking about people present here. We'll take care of those guys.
Okay.
Perkins at 21. 2 seconds. All right, there you go. Awesome. Make sure you get your points turned in. There might be something for you too. All right, next. We're going to switch gears a little bit. This is a really great hot topic. So I've got Master Trainer on this topic. He's a social media guru to help us with this topic. Facebook and other social media, what do's and don'ts, how to utilize it to get maximum results. It is a great tool, but we can't hide behind these things. It can't be our only approach. There's a right way and a wrong way to do this in the world of Advocare. Scott Nevitt is a Ruby distributor, looking at some higher ranks here as we speak. And really the first guy that started this off with us 3.5 years ago, him and Nick Reggio and Dr. Brett were really kind of that first core group of guys and got the start. So Mr. Nevitt graciously came out to help out tonight. Take it away, buddy.
All right, so social media. It can be a huge asset to your business, but also can be just absolute train wreck too. Okay. The cool thing to know about social media is if you know how to do it, or who does Facebook social media on a regular basis, who has no idea.
Hey, John, by the way, travels the country teaching people how to use Facebook.
Nice. So you put me on the spot right now. Yeah. So if you don't currently do Facebook or Twitter or something like that, I would not encourage, I would say maybe step outside your comfort zone a little bit and get involved there. One, because it's one of the best free tools that we have to be able to, connect with people. I think that's one of the biggest things about, Facebook, or I haven't gotten a whole Twitter thing yet, because for my brain it's a little bit overwhelming to have like 5,000 things going all the time. And so, but it's something there that you love. It's something that makes sense to you, use it. It's a great way to, social media is a great way to get in front of people that you just wouldn't normally have time to do, okay? We're looking at our 20-year Southeast Polk High School reunion here in a month. 230 people that I'm friends with, probably 120 of them just via Facebook. I've maybe seen 20 of them to 25 on a regular basis since we graduated 20 years ago. But, when we go into reconnecting again, getting face to face, I will know a little bit more about them. I've seen, I've connected with them. It's like a mini reunion every single day. Okay, so there is a ton of value there. Facebook tells and social media tells somebody everything they need to know about you. Okay, what we would like to refer to as the good, the bad, the ugly. And some people are, really do a good job and leading positive. Some people are just literally spewing everything that they hate on Facebook, and what it's allowing other people to do is conveniently unfriend them, unlike them. So they're, you got to think about this in terms of advocare. What are you trying to accomplish? I'm not, and Scott and I have always said this, we're not trying to make somebody that they already are. I'm not saying don't be who you are, okay? But have a little bit of, have a little bit of, realize that what you put out there, it's in that world forever. You can't take it back. Okay? So it could take a long time to undo a simple rant, a day of posts and things like that. Habits that you do with social media that you don't really realize you do. Like pictures, and one of my favorite topics, which we're going to roll, did you find it? From a friend of mine, Wes Bewley. He's going to take away selfies. It's for anybody that loves to do the selfie. We're going to let Wes tell you a little bit about the selfie world and Facebook. Hopefully.
We've all seen the post from Tommy, who squatted 350 pounds today, even though he had a bellyache. And you're thinking, what? We've all seen the post from Tommy, who squatted 350 pounds today, even though he had a bellyache. And you're thinking, what, Tommy? Or you've seen Tammy. Oh, Tammy. Tammy loves to take something called a selfie. You guys know what a selfie is? A selfie. And there's nothing wrong necessarily with taking a selfie once a month, but Tammy does it every day. And I'm going to educate you guys what a selfie is. A selfie works like this. You take out your phone, and nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that yet. You take out your phone, you open up your camera app. I'm actually going to try to do this, so please don't text me. You open up your camera app, still nothing wrong with this, but then you do something that is not okay. You extend your arm. Sassy, remember that camera a little bit? You extend your arm like this and point it down like that, and then you just make sure that jawline is just right. You get it just right, and sometimes you try to get cute with it, you up face, and go like that. We do not do that. If you do that, you must stop. I've seen some profiles where it looks like somebody woke up at about 11 p.m. at night. You guys heard that business called glamour shots? You go there, get all cute. It looks like somebody literally decided to have like a self-glamour shots session, where they, they get all these different things like this. And what's creepy is it's still taking a picture of them. And then they upload all 15 photos to their profile. And that kind of stuff scares me. So see, if you do that, let's not do that. Have your buddy take one good picture, and we're going to be good to go.
Wes is the king of making fun of social media. So I don't know who does that. And who doesn't? But if you're doing it, just maybe take it back a notch, okay? Nothing wrong with the selfie every once in a while. Actually, we put them out there just to make fun because of that video. And so, you know, having fun on social media, I think the biggest thing that people can do is just portray a part of themselves, you know? Show people who you are. Show people, be something that, you know, to people that they want to be attracted to, okay? You want to pull them in a little bit. You want to get them closer. Hey, come here. Listen a little bit what I got going on here. But you're not saying AdvoCare every single time, okay? The rule of thumb is 3 to 1. 3 to 1, family, regular life, to 1 AdvoCare, okay? That's not per hour, okay? That is hopefully like maybe per day. You know, sometimes like we all get a little bit carried away, but the reality, you know, keep it simple. Keep it out there where somebody's going to want to be attracted. Do not push people away with this by putting things out there. I'll give you an example. You know, with social media, when everybody's watching, here's a real example of, you know, something that we've seen. All right, so we got a person that puts out there, hey guys, I'm in dire need of finances. Need to sell these items I have. Please look at this list. iPod, 32-inch TV, Oakley sunglasses, help. Okay, that's a real post. 5 minutes later, AdvoCare can help get you financially free. I'm having a meeting tonight. Message me if you'd like to come. Okay, I don't think that is going to work. You know, 1 second you're airing all your dirty laundry. The next one you're saying, hey, come to this meeting. Can help you get financially free. Does that person sound like they're very financially free right now? You know, so just be careful with, you know, we all have bad days. You got to remember, you're trying to pull people in. You're trying to get them a little bit closer by putting that stuff out there on social media. That's not doing it, okay? Discounting products is another one. I think we've got a pretty good wrangle on that over the last year. You know, corporates really took initiative and said, that's how we define how we're talking about products on Facebook. You know, one of the things that you don't want to do is pretty much sell. Reality is you shouldn't be saying, hey, I have an AdvoCare 24-day challenge for sale. Message me. That would be, if I saw somebody on our team post that, you can bet they'd get a message from me pretty quickly, okay? But there's no need for that. You know, you want to share a story instead. You know, hey, I've lost 10 pounds in 10 pounds and 10 inches on a 24-day challenge. Feel amazing. That simple statement can get somebody being like, whoa, okay, that's something that I want. Did I say AdvoCare in there? No. Did I tell them to message me? No. Did I give them my link to go on right now and buy? No. Okay? That's another one we see a lot. Do not put your AdvoCare website on any of those feeds. Because here's the reality. If they like what they hear, right, what are they going to do? They're going to reach out, or they're going to comment. They're going to come back and be like, whoa, what is this? How'd you do it? You know, Kelsey, how did you do what you're just talking about? How did that person that you were just talking about do that? They'll message you, okay? They'll put it on the comment. The next thing you do after that is when they do comment on it, do not tell them exactly how to do everything on another comment, okay? Say, messaging you. I think Sunita does a really good job of that, because when she puts stuff out there and there's people interacting, she's like, I just messaged you, okay? Now you pulled it off of there behind the scenes, and you're showing them a little bit of what you're talking about, okay? Again, let it be that trailer of that movie. Do not puke all over people on Facebook about AdvoCare and do it constantly. Some people work. Jeremiah Captain, one of the fastest growing guys in AdvoCare, I think he posts literally every 7 minutes. I mean, literally. And then on multiple, it's impressive because he's got Instagram, he's doing it on multiple things. And I don't think it's like he's got some tool that's helping him do it all at the same time. He's just literally jacked up, and he can't help himself. He's one of the few that might be able to get away with it, okay? He's put it out there that this is the way it's going to be. He's attracted a lot of people that way with the energy, the passion that he has, okay? It doesn't feel fake or phony. So no discounting products, no saying, hey, you know, I'm doing the 30% off tonight. None of that. You will for sure hear from somebody above that's watching, because we're all kind of watching a little bit every once in a while. That if we have Facebook, you know, Justin might pick up on it. and send a message to Scott and say, hey, did you see this? No, I didn't. Okay, we need to address it immediately. Don't post too much. We talked about that. Remember, less is more. An example, on day 4 of the 24-day challenge, I've already lost 3 pounds. I also feel much better. Energy levels have greatly increased. That's a great one. This is not what to say. OMG, I love Advocare. Exclamation, 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 exclamation. I feel amazing. 5 more exclamations, and amazing is all in caps. You got to try this stuff. 5 more exclamation points. Okay? That's a little too excited. People are going to be like, whoa. I'm not sure if I want to be that excited about whatever's going on there. Okay? Truly less is more on there. Make sure you mix it up. Lighthearted stuff, like I said, 3 to 1. Okay? Here's a couple specific things, because again, the reality is facts tell, stories sell. We're all here for a business, right? You guys all said you wanted to be sober. That's $1,000 a month. We're okay with having that. You want to make money conversation. So facts tell. Justin already told us what happens when you tell too many facts. Real life example on the car ride home. Okay? Story, if you would have kept it simple to a story and that person just asked questions and given them some information in the responses, who knows what would have happened? It could have happened differently for him. Okay? So, a couple more do's and don'ts. One of the guys on our team, Donato, he's awesome at this. The people that he gets going on the 24-day challenge, majority of the time he'll give a shout out to, hey, so-and-so, good luck on starting your 24-day challenge tomorrow. And then, they start putting some results on the, sharing results back and forth. This is so awesome. So-and-so is on day 10, has lost 5 pounds. Great job. He tags them. He gives them a shout out. He celebrates them. Okay? He's tying Advocare to that person's social media and helping them maybe attract others to that. But he does it in a very, very classy way, and he's duplicating that through his team, and they're all very efficient at building Advocare business through Facebook. Okay? People are reaching out to them constantly. How do I get started? How do I do that? That's awesome. Spark, same thing. Okay? Tag people, on and celebrate them. Whether it be Debt Freedom, the Chamberlains are in the magazine. I can't think of if we've had a post about congratulations, Sarah and Chris, for paying $114,000 off in 3 years with that, with Advocare. That'd be a good post, and people would be like, oh, how do they do that? Stuff like that. Debt freedom is a big one. We do a lot of posts and we comment and we pull people in from the team, stuff like that. That's a good one. Here's a couple do notes, or do not do this. Use the word in Advocare in all of your posts. Okay? Again, you want to pull them in. Most of the people already know. How many times you go to a person and you be like, okay, I do Advocare, right? Yeah, I know that. So we don't need to talk. They already know you do it. Okay? So saying Advocare in every single post multiple times, that's not good. That's only going to push them potentially away from it. Okay? Contact me for more information. Do not do that. Remember, it's about timing. So they might see, the average person is 5 to 7 times they're exposed to something before they make a decision. So continue to let them attract them in. Don't everybody saying, contact me, buy this, here's my website. That's going to push them away, because all you're trying to do really is sell something to them. You're saying, I want you to go buy, instead of, I want to share something with you. Here's the results. Let's talk about it. Come to me when you're ready. That's behind the scenes what you're trying to say to them. When you're ready, they'll reach out to you. Okay? Do not ask them to continue to come to you and buy. So we've already talked about that one. And then connections. I think the biggest thing is, we have an awesome team. Just like third-party credibility is huge. Use it on social media. Share a story of somebody that Advocare posted about the weight loss. Whatever Advocare does, you can do. Feel comfortable with that all the time. Whatever Scott posts, you can feel comfortable duplicating that. Find some people that are doing social media and follow them and see what it looks like. And you're going to have your own style, and everybody's going to do it a little bit differently. But be comfortable find somebody that you think you might have a connection with, you have a personality that's very similar, and just follow them. If it's a diamond, whoever it is, you feel like they have it nailed down, that's who you follow, okay? By making connections with the Advocare through the team, through Advocare as a whole, you can figure some of the stuff out. And it's so much easier just to follow somebody that's doing it the right way than try to reinvent the wheel, right? I think we all know that. So, a couple more examples, and then I'll wrap this up. Congrats to 3 24-day challenge participants who completed the challenge today. So-and-so lost this, so-and-so lost that. They're sharing the results of multiple people starting on the challenge at the same time. It's that group mentality. People feel like they might be left out because those 3 people started the 24-day challenge and they didn't, okay? So like, oh man, I should have done that with that group. Because I'll get this all the time. I do a post like that and be like, hey Scott, message me, let me know next time you're doing one of those groups. I think I want to do it. Then I'll ask them why they want to wait. But because there's multiple people saying that there's multiple people getting results, now they're like, wow, I wish I'd been in that group. I could have used that 5 to 7 pounds, whatever, okay? And then just keep it simple. The bottom line is you want to pull people in, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Is there more? I can't track anymore. Oh, Google Plus. I think some people do that too. It's all about attraction. You want them. You want to be living the life and do it honestly. Don't be portraying something that you're not. But you want to be living your life. Like this summer, I'll give you an example. We spent a lot of time with my kids. We went places. We posted about it. I want somebody to see that and say, that's what I want. So they're going to reach out to me, and I'm going to tell them exactly how they can go get it. Okay, I've already softened the market there. I've already led by example. So be somebody that somebody else wants to be. Attract those people in, and social media can be a huge tool for that and making those connections. So any questions? Do we have time just for a couple? Any questions you guys have? Anything you're running into that's frustrating? Or
I was just wondering with, you were talking about Donato, do you know if he asks them their permission, or do you guys just generally?
Oh yeah, totally. Yep. Yeah, he's like, do you care if I give you a shout out? So they're, these are friends, these are people he knows. So other questions? All right. Good luck on your Facebook, social media. No selling. One selling.
Again, this is a blessing and a curse, okay? Nothing replaces lips and shoe leather and Advocare. Lips, I mean by talking to somebody, not hiding behind Facebook or instant messenger, that kind of stuff. And shoe leather means getting out and going to their house, meeting them somewhere, talking with somebody face to face. Okay? Nothing replaces that. This business is built on relationships. One of the reasons why this team is so strong is because there's strong relationships. I feel like we all should be able to have conversations and go to each other and work any issues out we have because we have a strong relationship. That didn't happen overnight. I guarantee it didn't happen over Facebook Instant Messenger. Okay? That happens because of lips and shoe leather. So the faster I believe that you can get somebody pulled in and get them to a private conversation on the phone or face to face, the better off you are. Anybody notice my post this week about Spark? I know Katie did. Anybody else? That's part of my 26 points. Okay? There was probably 4 or 5 people that had never tried Spark before that sent me a comment or liked. I sent them a message, hey, you know how to Spark? Like, no. Great, when can I get you one today? Like, I drove and met them that day, if not the next morning. I set a time where I could drive and meet them. I gave them a Spark, Impact Magazine, a few samples of some other stuff. Right? Bars, something I kind of got a feeling of what they were about, what they might like, and I got them a bunch of stuff, right? But I was live with them. I drove around town. It was that Wednesday morning delivering that stuff. It was awesome. I mean, thanks for them. They never tried Spark. So it can work very, very well if you do it right. Okay. So that brings me to the next topic, and then we'll get moving here on tonight. Duplication, all right? We're in a duplicatable business. Nobody, when they start out with this, starts out full-time. You don't just quit your job and all of a sudden you're 40 hours full-time advocate. First of all, not many people are going to follow your example because they have not the ability to do that, right? It's not very duplicatable. This business in the beginning is best built part-time in the beginning. Now, when you get to the point where you have choices, we certainly can talk about that, but you still have to stay busy and stay duplicatable, right? So every activity that I do today, every activity, I always think, what can this new person do what I just did? Because if they're interested in products or they're interested in this business, they're always sitting there saying, can I do what he just did? Right? So when we get on a three-way phone call, I'm trying to keep it personable, yet pretty short. Okay? Here's how I do it. I get on the phone, hey, I know we're going to talk about Advocare. That's why we're all on the call today, but tell me about yourself. Tell me about you, what you're about. Tell me about your family. They talk, I connect. Awesome. Do you have any specific questions for me in regards to Advocare? Right? No. Or yes. Usually we get a few things out of the way. Do you mind if I share my 30-second, or I don't say call it 30, do you mind if I share my story with you on what's possible here based on, and then I listen for some of the things they've said to kind of tailor parts of my story to fit what they're looking for, right? That should all be done in under about 15 minutes. Because then they're thinking, well, shoot, I can do what he just did. If I tell them, hey, when we got started, it was about 15 minutes a day, well, guess what? They might be able to do this one time a day. That's all they have time for. But what they saw was extremely duplicatable. They thought I could do that, right? Now, what you're seeing today with speaking in front of people and, you know, being on stage or stuff like that, you have to understand that people took a long time to be able to get to that spot. I remember the first time that we did a BOM about 3.5, 4 years ago, I stood up there and I pointed to the screen like this and talked to the crowd like this. I was sweating profusely, and I said and every other word. Okay? I feel like I've come a long ways in the speaking department because I've done it over and over and over and over again. So I remember that night Scott goes, look, dude, don't turn your back to the crowd ever. That's a great tip. I had no idea.
Now you're dancing.
Now I'm dancing for people, you know? So, and also today when I'm in a meeting, when I'm explaining products, I try to make it to the point where anybody can do what I did. Almost to the point where I do it on purpose. In fact, I do it on purpose a lot of the times. Okay? Because I'm like, wow, that guy from Indiana, Ohio can do this. If he can make $33,000 a month, I surely can do $3,000 a month. It's not to say that, you know, he's dumb, but if that's all there is to it, then I can do that. So be thinking about it. Be cognizant of what you're doing. Can the other person duplicate it? Because we are in a duplication, not addition business. Okay? If all you do is Facebook all day long and posting about Facebook, people are going to think, man, I don't want to do that. If that's what Advocare is about, that's what I do. That's not duplicatable. Plus, if I teach, I'm using Katie a lot tonight because we did a lot of calls, and we did a lot with Megan this week and John this week too. You know, she is able to do. In fact, I'm doing another mixer for her, right? And then you've got your own scheduled after that. I've shown her 2 mixers, and she's doing. And I'm not able to be there on that third date for her. And quite honestly, I don't need to be, right? It's time for her to get out of the nest a little bit, out of her comfort zone. She's seen everything twice. I've been duplicatable, so she should be able to stand there, especially after Silver School. In fact, I know she will be able to talk about the Bulletproof Shield. We'll be able to have questions, ask them what they want to do, and share a story. It's duplicatable. So now business is happening in Indianola that night, and I won't be there, right? But Katie's job now going forward is once she gets to that spot is to continue to duplicate that, right? Who's the next person in that meeting that we could do the same thing for and duplicate it on down? Anything you want to add to that?
No, I think that's being able to self-reliant on the business on a smaller scale like that makes a lot of sense. You learn a lot in the process too. So we go over there, do it for you, and then you don't some of those mistakes you may always there, that's how you learn.
Part of the reason why Justin couldn't sell any products because what he was doing was not duplicatable. Part of the reason why he wasn't getting to silver or gold or beyond was because what he was doing was not duplicatable. There was not one single person that could memorize all the ingredients like Justin did. Trust me. I don't even know how you understood those words, right? There's no way somebody's going to be able to do what he did, or even want to. I surely wouldn't, right? So everything we're doing must be duplicatable. I'm going to take questions now. What questions do you have? Yes, ma'am.
I was just ready to go for a vendor fair. You can bring your advertising stuff. How duplicatable is that?
It's not. I'm not a huge vendor fair person. I never have. It's not one of my favorite things to do. I don't feel very effective at it. There's a lot of great people that have come along in AdvoCare, and they've gotten some really good people from a vendor fair. So you can do it. But again, if I'm doing a vendor fair, I'm going to be extremely duplicatable, right? I'm going to have a 24-day challenge. I'm going to have an impact magazine. I might have a couple pop-ups. And when those people come up and talk, I'm going to share my story and I'm going to point to pictures. Share my story and point to pictures. And when they ask more questions, I share stories and point to pictures. And then I draw and I say, hey, look, if they're interested, they're qualified, I'm going to give them a spark. So you got to try one of our top selling products. You got to try it. I shake it up, mix it, and give it to them right there on the spot. Okay? But I also probably tell them, look, this isn't how most of our business works. I do a booth once a year. Just happen to be that we're meeting today. Good resource, good. Not telling you not to do it. Just be duplicatable for everything you're doing. I'm going to tip of your tongue.
What about for people that would be awesome, but they're 3 states away? If they talk to them about AdvoCare and they sign up and they're ready to go, how do you get them plugged in to a group down there to get training and go to local events? And how does that work?
Good. Where are they at?
Arizona.
Oh, perfect. Even more perfect. Because I know 4 diamonds. One of them happens to be one of my #1 mentors in this business is in Phoenix, in Arizona, or right there in Phoenix. That's Arizona, Phoenix, right? So, see, you can do this. So we know him, right? I know they have a meeting structure in Phoenix, like they do, very similar to what they do in Des Moines. So the events calendar, okay, the AdvoCare corporate events calendar. Now that I know that, we have a diamond team page, and I see events come across in Phoenix, I'll post them or shoot them your way. Okay? Get them some products in the mail. Send them a spark, an impact magazine. That's duplicatable. And then guess what? You're with Brett's group, right? Brett's really good at webinars. This is a webinar service that works too. We can get them on a webinar and talk live back and forth. I'm using a webinar service for this whole silver school. Okay? There's all kinds of stuff we can get them on talking on the phone and 3-way calls and all that kind of stuff. Phone knows no distance, and the computer knows no different distance these days. Yes?
I was just kind of wondering with new distributors, if they're interested on product and they're interested in the business, how soon do you kind of bring them into doing it on their own? Would you immediately show them the donation calendar and get them to kind of get other people interested, or is there a time frame where you just need to coach them one-on-one before you see if they would want to start kind of? I don't know if that's clear.
No, it's clear. I'm just trying to think of the best way to answer that.
I feel like it's kind of dependent on the person.
Yeah, again, this is an art, not a science.
Yeah.
Okay? So I kind of have a good feeling with somebody I'm working with, whether they can go out and do their own thing or not at this point. Right? I mean, I would think that Furchins and Katie should be absolute rock stars with 3-way calls right now, because we've done a lot the last couple weeks. I would feel confident if they wanted to get somebody else on the phone at this point and do their own 3-way phone call, they'd be fine. They'd definitely be able to accomplish that, right? There's some other folks we're not quite there yet with, and that's okay. But I know that. If they're interested in this as a business, they tell you that, I add them to the Boom Nation page immediately on Facebook. I want them to start seeing all the stuff that comes across. Okay? We don't try to put too much in there, but it's a great spot where they can start to see what's going on. They're like, oh my gosh, this thing is exciting. You know, they see our culture, they see success. You know, they see somebody else that posts something that maybe rings true to them, right? Why would I not want them to see that stuff? You know, we've got some tremendous leaders that do a good job of policing that thing. But hey, go over and hit like every once in a while. Your friends might see you push like on something. Okay? So as soon as you can get them into the success system and plugged into the team, the better off you're going to be. Who has the Boom Nation mobile app? Nice. Okay? I can click in that. I can't tell you how many times a day I get a message, when's the next event in Des Moines? www.theboomnation.com. It's all right there. Okay? So teaching people to how to use these tools is very important as well. Okay? Because you don't want to be the person getting 15,000 messages a day for something you created, something that's very easy to do. You need to send them. I send them. In fact, I do my best to be very cordial, but yet here's the website. I'm trying to teach them. This is how they can teach their folks going forward. Like, it's all right here. Take some ownership. Okay? We spend a lot of money on that stuff. Trying to make it a little easier for you. What else?
What about like someone you haven't talked to like 4 years? Randomly call them up. I mean, or like, how do you make that connection?
Good question. I always look for some way to find a connection with that person. I'm looking at mutual friends. Who could I work through to get to them? What are they involved in that maybe I've got a similar type thing? Okay. If there's none of that, and I think they'd be great fit for Advocare because I watch their social media page. Here's the thing, man. You can find out anything you want to know about somebody on Facebook these days. Somebody signs up a distributor, I look them up. I do. I mean, I'm not stalking people, but I just want to know what they're about. I want to know if they continue to party hard after college. I want to know if they've got kids or a family, if they've maybe got a wife. I want to know if they're into health. I want to know a lot of different things about people, right? Because then it helps me when I finally get a chance to talk to that new distributor. Okay? Or I can send a message to Scott, wow, you check this person's online profile out? You might want to talk to them like immediately. They look like it'd be a great fit for our culture. You know? What was your question?
How do you break that ice?
Oh yeah. Some of you haven't talked to in 4 years. Here's what I do. I'd probably send them a real quick, if I don't have their phone number, I'll send them a real quick message on Facebook. I'll be like, hey, I know we haven't talked in a while, I don't want this to be weird. I hate reaching out to you on Facebook. I'm involved in this company called Advocare. It's been life-changing. You know, we've been able to help a lot of people. I love the products, I love the business. I think this is something you'd be really good at. May or may not be for you. When can we talk? That's exactly what I do. In fact, I have it saved on my desktop on a Word document. I copy and paste it. So, because that's so good, I got it so good that I don't want to forget. Right? I'm saying. So, then they say, sure, let's talk. Then I get them on the phone and say, hey, I know we haven't talked in a long time. Bring me up to speed with how you're doing. Bring me up to speed with what you do, who you are.
Is it okay to do that for text?
Is it live?
He doesn't do social media.
Well,
I think it's talking about texting.
So just texting on there.
yeah, that's okay. But again, if you get their phone number, why don't you just call them? Hey, John, I know we haven't talked in a long time. I know this might sound a little weird, but you know, I thought about you today. You're on my heart. I really want to talk to you about something. It's called Advocare. When can we get on the phone? They call you up, great. Hey man, you know, I know we haven't talked in a while, and obviously I'm calling for a specific purpose today. But first of all, just bring me up to speed with how you're doing. That help? You feel confident you can do that tomorrow? Tonight?
Maybe.
Do you have another question? I'm here right now. We'll talk more about it.
I mean, I did that with one of my friends out in D.C. I knew she was out there, and she's going to law school out there. But it's just like she wasn't really interested in it. Or I just didn't feel like I was convincing to her. I knew what to say.
Okay. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You can't do it. I don't care how bad you screw up your Advocare talk in your own head. If it's the right person, they're going to hear the right message. It's not for you. It's for you to share your story with passion, strong words. And this is what we're doing. May or may not be for you. Not going to affect our friendship. Is there any part of this that interests you? Right? This is a numbers game. It's a law of numbers. You planted a seed and that person might come back to you for 2 years. You planted a seed and all of a sudden they're watching everything you do. Is he for real? They're just going to say no because they don't KNOW or they're scared. But they're going to watch you like a hawk for the next year. Is he going to continue to do this? Is he for real? Right? I cannot tell you how many people have come back in the last year or 2 or 3. I can't even count them that I've talked to, and they've said, "Wow, you were for real. Good stuff. You are not kidding." Like I told you, I was doing it. Right? It's my own town. I've watched it forever. I know my sister tried to pull a hook out there every once in a while. We've wanted Katie for a long time. The timing wasn't right for her, but the seed was probably planted long ago. Am I correct? And you're here. And it took forever. She just stubborn, hard-headed. Right? But she made a decision. Now she's the biggest advocate. She told me she was infected with Advocare this week. Right? Timing was right in her life. Planted a seed. Sometimes the seed takes a while to grow. Took me 6 months to get Nevin to figure himself out. Love you. All right, let's wrap this up. Homework for next week. Guess what? Same homework. You get a chance to redo. If you're not happy or you want to get a little bit higher number, you get a chance to redo it. Okay, 20 new people sparked with Connect, contact information, follow-up, minimum of 5 people through the success system with their sponsor. Each activity counts as a point. Homework. We will post this. We'll watch Bulletproof Shield with Danny McDaniel. Watch 4 questions to ask with Mike Farrell. This will help you have connecting conversations. I'll post that so you have that information. Here's your other homework. I give it to you. This is $1 million. If you listen to it and you let this download in your brain, this is the best CD I've ever heard on network marketing. Jim Rohn was a god in the network marketing industry, okay? I mean, you will think he's talking Advocare because the guy that wrote a lot of his material is named Ron Reynolds, and he's the director of our distributor development at Advocare, okay? The two almost sound identical. But this CD will talk about a lot of stuff we talked about, planting seeds, sharing your story, the law of numbers. What else is on here? What else? No quit. I mean, I literally put this in my car and I listen to it on repeat all the time. What? The seed and the sower. Law of sowing and reaping. Okay? This thing is amazing.
Setting the sale.
Huh?
Setting the sale.
Setting the sails on here, right? If you've heard this, I mean, I'm telling you, this is $1 million because this will tell you every single thing you need to know. Give you an extra layer of conviction, okay? I actually have Advocare's approval. I requested to get approval to be able to hand as many of this out, and I wanted to whenever I wanted to. It said absolutely wrong. It's amazing material. So instead of rolling with Dan Patrick tomorrow morning on the Sports Talk Radio, roll with a little Roan in the morning and listen and learn so you can put good stuff in and so good stuff will come out, okay? This will teach you a ton. Send in your address and we'll get those sent out this week so you have them. I believe there's also maybe a YouTube link. We'll work on that so you guys get those as well. Make sure you get your points in for last week. Make sure you send your email over saying what you learned tonight so you can get into the next week's class and verify your attendance tonight. With that, God bless you. Have a great evening.
Stop that.